Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anik and I will talk to you guys about unit study. So, pros and cons of unit study. We've been using unit study for a little while now, and I have a lot of pros about unit study, but there's also little cons. But again, let's remember that it depends on your family and your needs. Let's get started. Number one. My children, and this is me, and I've noticed this for everyone that are using unit study, is that my children will definitely retain more information when we do unit study than when we do more of the traditional workbooks. What I mean by that is they'll retain the information longer. It could be 3 months after we've done this study. If we have a conversation about something, they'll remember things that we've learned, and they'll mention it, and it applies to our lives. Most of the time, my children will retain way more information when we do unit study. Number two, all your kids can learn together. So I've said this before. One thing I love about unit study is that all my children can learn at the same time. Which brings me to my number three. They help each other learn. My oldest helps my youngest learn when they have questions. Vice versa. Sometimes my youngest says something to my oldest that makes sense to him. They all learn together, and it's nice to see. It teaches them to help each other. It's going to teach them to help people all through their lives, and age has no limit to helping people. It doesn't matter how old you are. Number four, save money. When you purchase a unit study, you save money. You have one teacher's guide for all of your children, and you have their workbook. You save money also because unit study covers multiple subjects, which means money savings. So it covers everything from geography to social studies to reading to spelling, all history, all of that in one time teaching, which is wonderful. So also another pros about unit study is that it teaches your children to research, which I've noticed with this study that we've been doing the Asia study, and it's great because it teaches my older child to research, to find their own answers, to go online and type in information and learn how to research and find answers. So if I were to sum it up for all my pros about unit study, that would be it. So let's look at the cons. Number one, cons would be that you need an extra curriculum. It's not just you do that unit study and you're done. You need math. Usually all the unit studies that we've been doing don't include math, so you're going to have to purchase an extra curriculum. Also, you probably are going to want to purchase extra things if your children is lacking in certain subjects, because the unit study will give you 1 page of spelling. Maybe your kids needs more than that. Maybe you need to buy extra books to help your children learn how to spell better. But I mean, you would do this whether you get a unit study or not. These are just things that I'm letting you know. As far as geography, you might need extra books to teach them a bit more. These unit study covers all these subjects, but you don't have 5 pages of one subject. If that makes sense. You might have 1 page of geography, 1 page of spelling, 1 page of reading, all that. So if you might need to purchase extra things to help your children in what they need to work on more. Number two would be that it could be time consuming as far as preparing your lesson. Even though you have your teacher's guide, you got to know what you're teaching. So you need to, it could take time for you to prepare and plan your unit study. If you want to add extra books, extra activities, and they have wonderful suggestions in the ones that we've been doing of extra things that you can do, extra books that you can do, but you need to be prepared in order to do it. So if you're looking for more of a relax, just everything in one book, then maybe you need to rethink of the traditional workbooks. Number 3, it can be difficult for parents or children who are used to do traditional workbooks. Unit studies and traditional workbooks are very different. The style of learning is very different. So if you're so used to do traditional workbooks like you did when you went to public school, you might have a bit of problem using unit study. Unit study is more of a freestyle learning, meaning you can add anything you want, or you can take away anything you want. So you can go from one end to another with the unit study. Traditional workbooks is more traditional, always the same. You know what to expect. I guess that's the better way of saying it. Also, when I mentioned my pros about research in a unit study can also be a con. In my case, I would see it a con when it comes to my youngest children, because I do not want them to go on the internet to search for information. So that gives me more work in finding research for them so that they can look into books more, or maybe they can read the stuff that I found for them. It depends on your needs and what you think it's okay for your child to do and what you think it's not okay for your child to do. So for me, it was a bit of a con for my youngest children because I don't want them to be on the internet too much at that young age. For my oldest, it's fine. I monitor what he does, but he's old enough to go on there and research things. So, it could be a pro and it could be a con, depending on your children's age. Overall, guys, we love to use unit study. I like the fact that we can sit together and learn together, and the information that they learn stays. It is more of a comfortable, relaxing learning, and I can get all kinds of stuff to add to this unit study. We just finished Asia, and we really loved it. We learned so many things about Asia, and the unit study that we used Gather Around Homeschool. Unit study uses all kinds of aspects. Now, I use unit study I use a bit of both. We use unit study together, but I also purchase strictly English curriculums extra. So unit study for us is more of summer things that we do so we can have fun with it. And this year, although I am doing the one for my children in September, and it's going to be their science, and so I don't know exactly how I'm going to use it, if it's just going to be once a week or a few times a week, we're not sure yet. But overall, guys, unit study is good. I love the information that the kids are receiving. I love that there's Bible in those curriculums for my children to read and write scripture. That is a personal preference. So that's it, you guys. That's all I wanted to touch on. The pros and the cons of a unit study. Hopefully this was helpful to you as school is starting. Maybe if cost efficient, unit study is definitely up there. For us, we use it, and it helps me save money, and I love what we learn from it. So on that note, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and we will talk very soon.